Wait till you hear this. Police Chief Stacey Graves says 67 of last year's homicides also began with an argument that turned violent. City leaders looking for solutions to stop violence like focused deterrence.
So if it sounds familiar, it's because it was previously used here about 10 years ago in Kansas City. KSHB 41 News reporter Abby Dodge listened to a scholar at the Center of Focused Deterrence Research to hear how that approach could be successful again. Abby, what did you learn?
Well, focused deterrence is based on social services and established departments like police and prosecutors. Here's an easy breakdown of what focused deterrence is. First, you have to identify the problem, then get the leaders together who have an interest in solving that problem. There should also be continued research to make sure you're reaching the right people. And once you make contact with those people who are at risk of being victims or perpetrators of violence, there should be a genuine offer of support to pull them out of their current situation. If those offers aren't taken and criminal activity continues, then there's a follow through with enforcement. The researcher I spoke with today highlighted Kansas City's success years ago, and former Mayor Sly James was quick to pinpoint where things went wrong.
The marker of success within the No Violence Alliance, or NOVA, focused deterrence approach is touted as teamwork. Those close to the program who we talked to today say when each department and service works together, there is great success, and the homicide rates support that idea. Kansas City hasn't seen less than 100 homicides since 2014, when leaders used focused deterrence. But the need for teamwork is also its downfall.
Focused deterrence is even more challenging because you have multiple partners involved, all working from different angles, goals, budgets, leadership cycles, and that's one of the sustainability issues for focused deterrence. That being said, with a solid plan, with an eye toward sustainability, it can absolutely be done.
Ken Novak was a NOVA researcher tracking the success of focused deterrence in Kansas City. While people work to connect individuals who were at risk of being a victim or suspect of homicide, former Mayor Sly James said the follow-through piece was missing.
I think one of the cracks that developed over time was the fact that the courts really wouldn't help us out. And I'm sure they won't be happy about me saying that, but they simply refused to help us out. We needed them to come to the table with us and help devise a program that would have gotten offenders through, gun offenders through on a special docket, a gun offenders docket.
Despite the program's short-lived success, Novak says it was one of the most useful tools for the city that can be replicated again.
So I think that there's optimism because many people who are still, working in very influential positions saw it work the first time.
KCPD tells me they are in the early implementation phase of this focused deterrence program. The department is still learning what needs to be refined and worked on for this phase.
A quick question a lot of folks may be having, I know I had it while watching this piece. How much of this tactic is focused on policing versus connecting people with social services?
Well, Kevin and Caitlin, it's not supposed to be entirely focused on the enforcement piece. That's only one of the smaller pieces here. Ken, the researcher I spoke with today, says it's important for every agency to share information with each other, because if one entity is just in its silo, the whole plan doesn't work. So this is not a magical cure for this. It's one of the many ideas that can be used and should be used.
Collaborative effort needed.
All right, Abby, thank you for that. I think we all agree something needs to be done to hopefully prevent these situations from escalating in the future.